Hi everyone, welcome to yet another interesting edition of my program. Yes, my name is Oma. You're very sweetheart on radio, TV, and social media. So, this is a very important podcast, all right? Because I'd like to tell the story of a young man who it wasn't accidental. I would never call it accidental. It was intentional. Imagine a fellowship where media top guns are gathered, journalists from all over Nigeria, they are gathered for a training. And a young graduate, fresh from school, fresh from oven, right? He just graduated 2023. And in 2024, he got accepted as one of the media innovation program. That's MTN-MIP 3 cohorts. I mean, that's a huge one. How was he able to get selected for this prestigious event? I mean, this is such a fellowship where journalists who have years of experience under their belt, who have done so much, for him to be selected, it means that he has done so much. So he could actually be a young graduate, but not so young when it comes to experience at work. I'm talking about Johnstone Kpilaka. We call him Relax. And he is the sub-editor of Human Angle. And Johnstone, I will allow you to introduce yourself by yourself.
Hi, Oma. My name is Johnstone Kpilaka. Sub-editor Human Angle, like you said. I'm also an MTN Media Innovation Fellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your journey into being selected as MTN-MIP briefly.
Yeah, so I think when MIP launched that was 2022. Yeah, 2022. I was working as a tech reporter at bendada.com.
Okay.
So it was quite like a popular fellowship in the midst of the tech and business reporting ecosystem.
Okay.
People were applying. It was a big deal, right? That was the first cohort. And I didn't apply intentionally because I felt like I didn't have the experience yet to apply for it. But I was looking forward to the subsequent ones. Okay. So, well, I just kept following it, kept following the activities they were doing. I would sit and read the profiles of all the fellows. Wow. I read the profile of the first cohort, and then eventually they opened for the second cohort, and I applied for it.
Okay.
And I didn't even cross the first stage. Yeah, I didn't even cross the first stage. I think I didn't do it with so much intention. I just did it laid back, right? And
probably you didn't understand how tough it was.
Exactly, I just did it. So when the selected people, I went to read about them. I was like, okay. But after that moment, I became more intentional about my preparation for the next cohort whenever it will come out. So I read about the people, like I said, and I mean, the way I knew about the second cohort was annoyingly painful.
Okay.
They had not replied. They didn't reply my first application. And then I'm in Abuja for a program. I think it was a corrosive and constructive capital reporting project with CGID. And I'm in Abuja. And on few days we were leaving, and somebody from Legit, I can't remember I think Bassett, I can't remember his full name. I overheard him saying, oh, he's going to Lagos for the MTN fellowship. I say, what do you mean? So that's how I learned about it. Like, I just learned about it from somebody who was selected just randomly, right? But after that moment, I was like, oh, next year I'll be the one that they'll be saying this about. So I mean, I just went back, put in the work, right, and prayed about it, kept praying about it as well. So when the application came out, I had this confidence that, oh, I have put in the work for 1 year. In the space of 1 year, I used 1 year to prepare. I've been putting in the work for this whole 1 year. So I think it's time for me to apply.
Okay.
And then I reached out to, at the time, my managing editor, Daniel Adeyemi, was a pioneer member of the fellowship. He was in the first set. So I reached out to him. I was like, I want to apply for this fellowship, right? Can you advise me on how to go about it? And he told me that, well, the fellowship is sometimes there are different criteria for application. I mean, he told me that men, they are women, the women, the men, they are quota for all of these things, right? But he told me, see, I should just do my best. That's all he can say. So I went back, I put in the application. I wrote my responses to the questions. But I had a bit of self-doubt, so I didn't apply immediately. I had my questions ready, but I didn't apply immediately. I sent it to my friend. Somehow he was busy and never replied. Then I sent it again to Daniel, my editor. He just went through it. He didn't make any correction. He didn't add any comma. I say, it's okay. Me, I should just do my best. Well, I applied eventually. And one day I just got an email. You have been selected for the next stage. I got the tax. The day I logged into that e-learning platform, the PAU e-learning platform, I was like, I don't be student for this school with that. Yeah, because the fact that I logged into that e-learning platform, I was like, no, I cannot enter this platform or not. But I had the assignment was also to look at our community and propose a solution to a problem in our community using technology. Right, so a tech-driven solution. I kept thinking about it. What will I pitch? I had an idea. It was a very random. It was a common idea. Agency banking. I was like, financial inclusion. I'll write about how. But even me, I sat back. I was like, is this actually a solution? A problem? There are POS everywhere, so it's not as if financial inclusion is a problem where I'm living. But something happened. My friend had come to stay with me for a while during a trip, and then she was sick. She had an asthmatic attack, and it was a terrible experience for me because that was the first time. And in fact, it was on my birthday, so it was the first time I was going to be a first responder to an asthma patient. So I called our mentor. The mentor for both of us, who has become like our father, right? I called him and he stayed on the call. He was advising me on what to do. Press her here, do this one. My neighbor went to help me and get inhaler. I called other people. And so randomly I was baiting. I either baiting or taking a walk. And God just dropped the thought. This is the problem. You can write about how technology can solve issue of telemedicine. Technology can solve issue of first responder. So with telemedicine, you are able to have videos that you can watch immediately. You can order for a inhaler online. You can reach out to a doctor online. And I decided to propose the solution. So that was my article. And I put in the application. I prayed over the application, told my mother to pray over the application. And I woke up one day, I went to Abuja again. Abuja has an interesting link to this. I went to Abuja for my graduation for Budget Media Fellowship, Gulf Spend Media Fellowship. On my way back to Jos, got into Jos, went to see a mentor somewhere. And as I just sat, I was about to pay for a t-shirt. We were organizing an event, so I was about to pay for a t-shirt. So I just on my data to make the transfer. And I saw an email. The email didn't start with congratulations. It just read. I jumped. I was jumping. I was jumping to the middle. I wanted to see, you know how those emails start. And then I saw admission letter attached. Wow. I just jumped from my seat and called my mom immediately. Wow. So basically, it was just that journey. It was that space of preparation, asking people questions, reaching out for help. Because when I wrote the article, the final essay, I sent it to my friend, Cynthia, she works for a Nigerian fintech, and I just felt like she was a good editor. I've always seen how she criticized somebody's work constructively and help you make a better copy. So I reached out and I was like, Cynthia, please can you edit it? And she was very thorough. She said, remove this one, try and make this sound better. Overall, your story is good, but you have to check your grammar, do this one. So she helped me and did that, and that was the final copy I submitted to get into the fellowship.
So since the fellowship, how has it been for you? What's your overall look at the fellowship?
It has been mind blowing, right? I tell people every day that every day I wake up in the fellowship, it uncovers a different dimension to me, from the lectures we are taking, from the environment that is Panalangsi University, where we are taking these lectures, from my classmates. We have my classmates who have been doing journalism for 24 years or more. 24 is how old I am, right? Being in the class with people who have been practicing journalism way before you started saying A or 1 means a lot. It means you have access to a lot of things, you have access to a lot of experience. One of our classmates, is a radio proprietor.
Okay.
And when we are in those business revenue classes, you hear him share from like his experience on the field. And then you are picking more, the learning is becoming more experiential. And we have done a couple of like study trips, maybe go to like Huawei's office. We have been taking, and another thing I enjoyed was when we're doing, our Lagos Business School lectures, where we have to do case studies. Case studies were another way of bringing reality to the classroom. So you are studying how a company in XYZ grew into like the case study we did about La Presse, how their digital transformation, La Presse is a publication in Canada, how they got into their digital transformation. It just made me realize, how people in real life are approaching this problem and solving it. And since then, when I go back to my office, the way I'm thinking, or when I'm talking to people are reaching out to you to advise. The way I'm advising is much better than I was doing 4 months ago. Because now I'm advising from depth of the what I've been taught, depth of the interaction I've been having, the environment I'm learning from, beyond the curriculum. I always say that there is so much I'm learning from the environment, from the relationships I have access to, from the school environment, the way the environment is designed. I mean, you can attest to the fact that there is so much intentionality about how the school environment is designed, how the school environment functions. It is intentionally designed to make you become an extraordinary person, right? So when you bring all of these things combined, the program has been developing me into that whole being and beyond, inspiring people as well, having conversations with other young people and encouraging them, and helping them. I've had a couple of people who not get the fellowship, but from my conversations with them, they've been able to get other relevant fellowship that are relevant to them. And another interesting indirect impact the fellowship has is we are currently preparing for our studies trip to the University of Johannesburg. And my nieces are aware of it. And I was having a conversation with them last night, and they were telling me, if you go to Johannesburg, you are going to dance Zulu dance. So I was like, I was telling them, okay, what is going on? And now realized that, these children have spent the time researching about South Africa online.
Wow.
So they know a lot about South Africa now, and they have not been there. I've not been there yet. I'll be there in a few days, right? But they know a lot about the place already because of somebody close to them is going to go there. That's transformation beyond me, because those children, the way they are going to think is different from how they were thinking a day before I got, or days before, or months before I got into the fellowship and got the opportunity to travel to that country. So there is that indirect impact is also happening having on people around you. These children now having to think about certain possibilities. The fact that they've gone to research about South Africa, they are now learning about South Africa. They are not aspiring to go there tomorrow. And they know that, the way my uncle went to South Africa, they did not just come and meet him in the house and gave him. He walked XYZ to get it. They also have to start telling themselves, if I want to go to South Africa, I have to do. So there's that indirect impact. Apart from our own professional building, there's an indirect impact it's having on the people around us. People who, it's not as if we are giving them pep talk. We just told them we got into the program. And somebody else, we just go and start Googling about the program. And then start getting transformation, start making decisions. And you were sharing a story about how somebody got into one Earth fellowship because you shared your story. So people, there's that indirect impact it's having. These children I'm talking about are in primary 5 and just 3.
Wow.
But they took up upon themselves to Google about South Africa. They now know the tribes in South Africa. They know that there's a tribe called Zulu, and the Zulu people have their own dance. And so I mean, it's when you talk about something like that, it goes to the conversation MTN and the South African High Commission have been having about strengthening, bilateral relationship through social diplomacy, right? That is social diplomacy if you look at it, because these people are now getting interested in the culture of another people, and they are now getting to learn about something that they have not had the opportunity to learn about before.
Okay, so what do you have to say to MTN in continuation of this fellowship?
I think first thing I have to say to MTN is that I'm like extremely grateful because man, this like a huge opportunity. I on my own, I went to go and look at the school fee structure of the university and see if it's something I could have afforded on my own. I know at my financial state, it's going to be a big strain. It's take me a lot of saving, and I mean, I just sit and I'm so grateful for the financial investment and the intentionality they have put into ensuring that we get the best out of the program. So first of all, it's just that gratitude. And regarding the continuity, it's just the fact that I'm telling you there is transformation going on. If we have more people experience this through direct impact and indirect impact, then the Nigerian media ecosystem will become a better place. We will have more people, more media innovators building more solid products that are profitable, right? We have people telling stories, curbing misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation, doing quality journalism, doing quality media packages that will build a nation. It's something we spoke about in our media and society class, where how the media has the power to build the society, right? So, and this can only be done as it has been done in the past by having people who are well built, who are well trained, and that is what the fellowship is doing. So
and it's something MTN,
don't stop, yeah, don't stop. Yeah.
Okay, for all the classes you've gone to so far, which one of them would you say is which one should I use right now?
Favorite?
Yeah, favorite.
It's hard to choose because every class the curriculum is designed in a way that it complements each other. Okay. So today you are in this class, tomorrow they now bring you into this class. But I enjoyed the class on media and society. He introduced me to the power I have as a reporter, right? Then I enjoyed the classes as a journalist, and then I enjoyed all the classes on business revenue models, because most times people don't want to become journalists because journalists are poor people. But they are telling you can do ethical journalism and still make money out of it. That's what they told us about La Presse. That's why we did our case study. So you're now realizing, it's because I don't know how to package this product. That is why I've not been able to make profit out of it, right? And we see that in the case studies we've been doing. So the class on media society, and I bridge it with ethics, bringing it from there's a bridge between media society, ethics, and then business revenue model, building business revenue models for media products. Because if you want to build a revenue model, you have to be ethical so that you don't sell your voice because you are looking for money. So those three, there's an intersection that they form for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us here on MTN-MIP 3. And we do hope that your experiences will definitely inspire and motivate others to aspire for greatness.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Much. Definitely. Thank you so much. All right, that was Johnstone Kpilaka, a fellow of MTN-MIP, and my name is Chioma Vic Chukwemeka, also known as Oma Sweetheart on radio, TV, and social media. Stay with us. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
Take it away. I am calling you on my make you talk my pen away. Talk on my talk on my talk. I am calling you on my make you talk my pen away. Talk on my talk on my talk. Loving somebody and somebody loves you back. My sweetheart on radio, sweetheart on radio, sweetheart on radio. I am calling you.
All right, that was Johnstone Kpilaka. We call him Kpilax on his journey as a fellow of MTN-MIP 3, right? I believe you are inspired by his story, even though he is my colleague. Even though we are on the same cohorts, I am always inspired. Looking at Johnstone, imagine where he said, the people that are in the class with him are people who have 24 years of experience. Some people who have 24 years of experience in journalism, that's how old he is. I mean, that speaks a volume. All right. I thank you so much to MTN for this amazing, prestigious fellowship, which has given voice to young journalists like Johnstone Kpilaka, a 24-year-old journalist who will take the world of journalism by storm. And this is wishing every other young person, early career journalist, to let them know that indeed, that just like Johnstone Kpilaka, a fresh graduate who is doing wonders in the world of journalism, they can still find their voice and their impact will be known and will be felt. This is a way of letting them know that they can. Since Johnstone did it, they can do it. And in the same way, MTN is empowering journalists to be the very best. Thank you so much for joining me on Oma's Diary on this podcast. I will see you on another podcast as we continue with this journey of MTN-MIP 3. I love you. See you around.